Oh shit. Here we go again.
I don't know where to begin. Mary Jane Watson from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy is a divisive character, and her relationships with Peter Parker, Harry Osborn, and others play a significant role in why many fans criticize her. Much of this disdain comes from her actions in the three films, which paint her as indecisive, manipulative, and selfish in the eyes of some viewers. In the Raimi trilogy, MJ is portrayed by Kristen Dunst. She stars as Peter Parker's neighbor, the girl next door archetype, with a difficult home life. She comes from an abusive household where her father is shown to be verbally and emotionally abusive. This background explains MJ's need for validation, love, and acceptance throughout the film, as she seeks comfort in her relationships to escape her dysfunctional family life. At the beginning of the first film, MJ is in a relationship with Flash Thompson, the high school bully. This relationship emphasizes how little MJ values herself at this point in her life. She's dating a man who mirrors her father's aggression and lacks the emotional depth to care for her. As the trilogy progresses, MJ transitions from Flash to Harry Osborn and eventually Peter Parker. But many fans feel that her treatment of these men and how she navigates her emotions reveals a manipulative, self-serving side that makes her hard to sympathize with. One of the core issues fans have with MJ is how she treats Peter throughout the trilogy. Peter is deeply in love with MJ from the beginning, but the relationship is plagued with misunderstandings, rejections, and poor timing. In Spider-Man, the first movie, Peter is infatuated with MJ but keeps his feelings hidden, afraid of rejection and the complexities of revealing his secret identity as Spider-Man. MJ starts in a relationship with Flash, but after graduation, she dumps him, signaling her desire to move on from toxic relationships. Throughout the first film, MJ flirts with Peter, giving him mixed signals while also beginning a relationship with Harry Osborn, Peter's best friend. One of the more contentious moments for fans is when MJ kisses Spider-Man after he saves her, which many see as her cheating on Harry.
Shame. 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 Shame, shame, shame. Shame on you. Shame, shame, shame. Shame on you. This was serious, but it turned into something fun.
This kiss is iconic, but it sets up the love triangle that will plague her relationship for the rest of the trilogy. Fans see this moment as MJ being attracted to Spider-Man's heroism, not Peter's real personality, which complicates the authenticity of her love for Peter later on. In Spider-Man 2, MJ is pursuing a career as an actress and begins dating John Jameson, an astronaut and the son of J. Jonah Jameson. By this point, Peter has distanced himself from MJ, believing he can't be with her because his duty as Spider-Man puts her in danger. However, MJ grows increasingly frustrated with Peter's apparent lack of commitment and his absence from her life. Fans criticize MJ's behavior in this film because she frequently seeks validation from Peter. Despite being in a serious relationship with John, she even asks Peter to kiss her, indirectly referencing the upside-down kiss she shared with Spider-Man in the first movie, while still engaged to John. This moment is seen as betrayal to her fiancé, especially since she's still hung up on Peter.
Do you love me or not? What are you saying?
I'm saying...
Kiss me.
The climax of Spider-Man 2 revolves around MJ discovering Peter's secret identity. It's only after she realizes Peter is Spider-Man that she decides to leave John at the altar and pursue a relationship with Peter. Fans take issue with this because it feels like MJ only fully commits to Peter after learning he's a superhero, reinforcing the idea that she's more attracted to Spider-Man than to Peter himself. Additionally, her decision to leave John at the altar without any warning paints her as heartless and manipulative.
Go get him, Tiger.
Bombastic side-eye. Criminal offensive side-eye.
In Spider-Man 3, MJ and Peter are officially together, but their relationship is far from stable. MJ's Broadway career is faltering, and she feels increasingly overshadowed by Peter's success as Spider-Man. Peter, on the other hand, grows arrogant due to his superhero fame, and the two begin to drift apart. MJ's dissatisfaction with Peter's lack of emotional support leads her to seek comfort from Harry Osborn, who rekindles his feelings for her. In one of the most controversial moments, MJ kisses Harry while still in a relationship with Peter.
you not ashamed of yourself?
Fans view this as yet another instance of MJ's emotional manipulation as she's confused with her feelings and unable to fully commit to any men in her life. In addition to the kiss, Harry, under the influence of his father's Green Goblin persona, forces MJ to break up with Peter. While MJ doesn't want to end things with Peter, she does so out of fear for his safety, creating even more turmoil in their already fragile relationship. Peter, under the influence of the symbiote, becomes cruel and distant, which pushes MJ further away, though she remains loyal to him in the end. So, to recap, in the first movie, she cheats on Harry by kissing Spider-Man. In the second movie, she begs Peter to kiss her while having a fiancé and then leaves him at the altar only after discovering Peter is Spider-Man. In the third film, she cheats on Peter by kissing Harry. I've never in my life disliked a character this much. All she does is yell, scream, and complain all the time. Honestly, Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy is so much likable. I'm here to defend and also tear apart Kristen Dunst's MJ. Many fans feel that MJ's love for Peter only fully blossoms after she discovers he's Spider-Man, which cheapens the authenticity of her feelings. It seems as though she's more in love with the idea of a superhero than with Peter himself, which is particularly evident when she repeatedly expresses disappointment in Peter for not being around or not showing up to her play, without realizing the immense pressure he's under as Spider-Man. She comes off as a toxic, manipulative gold digger chasing after her next high. Throughout the trilogy, MJ often makes situations about herself even when Peter is dealing with life-threatening crises as Spider-Man. This self-centeredness makes her seem unsupportive and uncaring, which frustrates fans who are more invested in Peter's hardships. Peter saves MJ's life multiple times throughout the trilogy, yet she rarely expresses gratitude for his heroism. Instead, she often complains about his absences or emotional distance, without recognizing the sacrifices he's making to keep her and the city safe. This lack of appreciation further alienates fans who feel that MJ is ungrateful and doesn't deserve Peter's love.
Of course you don't, because you complicate things.
You don't understand. I'm not an empty seat anymore.
I have to go.
MJ's decision to leave John at the altar is often seen as a cruel and thoughtless action. Fans argue that she should have broken things off with John sooner if she was so unsure of her feelings for Peter. Leaving John on the day of their wedding makes MJ appear selfish and immature, as if she's incapable of making mature decisions about her relationships. While her actions might seem manipulative or selfish, they are also stem from deeper emotional issues. MJ's background, coming from an abusive home and seeking validation in unhealthy ways, is a critical element of her character. She often latches onto men, Flash, Harry, John, as a way of gaining the love and security she never had growing up. This can explain why her romantic relationships often feel unstable or emotionally turbulent. It's clear that her relationship with Peter is one of the most sincere and meaningful ones in her life, but even that relationship is fraught with complications. Peter isn't completely without fault either, especially in the third film. His increasing arrogance, obsession with Spider-Man's fame, and insensitivity towards MJ's struggles at the time create a toxic environment for their relationship. Peter's kiss with Gwen was hurtful, and his inability to be there for MJ emotionally pushed her further away. In a way, MJ's attraction to Peter/Spider-Man represents her ideal of romanticized love. He's her savior, someone who sees her for who she is. But when the reality of being with a superhero sets in and Peter's obligations as Spider-Man begin to take precedence, it causes friction. MJ's frustration with Peter missing her play or being distant isn't necessarily unwarranted, but it's also a reflection of her struggle to come to terms with Peter's dual life and the sacrifices that come with it. Gwen Stacy from The Amazing Spider-Man is a much more likable and well-rounded character, and many people share this view. Gwen is strong, independent, supportive of Peter, and able to maintain her own identity while being involved with Spider-Man. The chemistry between Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone also contribute to making Gwen a more beloved character in the franchise. Ultimately, MJ and Raimi's trilogy is a more complicated and flawed character, which makes her harder to love but also more human in some ways. She makes bad decisions, gets caught up in toxic relationships, and struggles with insecurity and self-worth. But these are all reflective of her journey to find love and stability. While her actions frustrate many fans, me included, her arc reflects the eternal chaos of someone who has never truly felt safe or loved. It's fair to dislike her for how she behaves in her relationships, but understanding the deeper reasons behind those actions, her trauma, and her self-worth issues adds layer to it. While some fans sympathize with MJ due to her abusive background and her struggles to find genuine love, many others find her to be an unsympathetic character. Her indecisiveness, emotional manipulation, and frequent cheating are central reasons why fans dislike her. In contrast, characters like Gwen Stacy are seen as stronger, more independent, and supportive partners for Peter, which only heightens the criticism of MJ and Raimi's trilogy. MJ's complex relationships and questionable decisions throughout the films have made her one of the more controversial love interests in superhero cinema. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of MJ's character throughout the trilogy? Is she as bad as everyone makes her out to be, or is she just this emotional, complex girl with shitty men in her life? And as always, this will be in the Ship or Sink playlist, bad characters in a critique playlist as well. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye!